Hello, everybody. Welcome to One Up Station Podcast. I'm LQ Dez, your lovely host for the evening. This person here, I think I'm pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, that's...
I can't hear anything. Is Researcher Ryan?
Yeah.
He should do the continuing of his introduction.
Hi, I'm Researcher Ryan. I play Pokemon and games and things. Do stuff over on Twitch. And sometimes on YouTube.
Word. And below me is...
Sneaky Zombie. I also stream on Twitch. Games and just chatting and crafting.
Yeah, crafting.
Love to see it.
And we're talking about Burnout. Before...
Like the game Burnout?
No. I don't even know what game... Is there a game called Burnout?
Yeah, it's like a car game. It's like a
Oh.
racing game.
You know what? Yep.
Yeah.
What was it for, like the PlayStation or something?
I believe so.
It took me. You said a game, and I was like, oh, I remember seeing that on the.
It's like Gran Turismo, but like not Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I worked at a GameStop way back in the day.
Ooh, tell me more.
Oh, long time ago. Back when I was but a wee zombie. And let's see here. Wait. What was the craziest thing that was coming out? Oblivion. That was the latest and greatest thing. We did Oblivion pre-sales. So that gives you context. Oblivion. Oh my gosh, I didn't even play Oblivion.
Who?
What?
Who?
What's that?
Me? But before we go into our topic, let's all talk about what we've been doing, what we've been up to, how everything is going this week, last week, the week before. How is life in general? Ryan, would you like to start while I rearrange my face again?
Yeah, sure. Past couple weeks, since I guess mid-April, have been a little rough. Just trying to get back into the swing of things again. I felt levels of exhaustion after my 12-hour that I hadn't felt in a while. And then that like led into something entirely different. So I was messed up for a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And now I'm trying to get back on track, and I was like, okay. I was trying to do it earlier this week. I wanted to like start again earlier this week, but I just like couldn't find the motivation to do it. And then Friday came along, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I wanted to stream Friday anyway because new Pokemon Snap came out, so I streamed new Pokemon Snap Friday. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm excited to play more of that this week coming and do more of that.
Word. Sneaky, what's been new and exciting with you?
I not a whole lot. I got my COVID vaccine, my first one at least.
Congrats.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh yeah,
Moderna or Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Nice.
Nice.
So I got that, and that was really good. My arm hurts today, but you know that's okay.
As it do, as it
And
do.
I know, right? Yeah. So far everything is expected. But other than that, really not like a whole lot. It was kind of a hard week for streaming just because life kept kind of getting in the way.
Ah, that tricky thing called life.
Yeah.
Heck you, life.
All it wants to do
very
is get in the way.
frustrating. Yeah.
I feel that though.
But
Like, real deep down.
another week has arrived, so we will get another
Yeah.
opportunity. So
Yeah, another week. Another week,
Yeah.
another challenge. Another week, another something.
How about you, Oku?
I'm doing good. Tried to stream on Friday, couldn't. Totally forgot that my relative sister was coming and visiting, which was great. It was good to see them, but they didn't stay long, and it was just kind of like a I need a place to stay type of deal, which is fine, honestly. We got some good pho, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically Vietnamese soup. If I really had to boil it down, soup reference.
I always
I'm
thought
hilarious.
pho was just a slang internet term for food.
Pho.
Like, just like, oh, yo, we just got pho. Like,
always got pho.
that kind of thing. But
I mean, it could be. I don't know. People
Yeah.
could be using it wrong.
No,
People use the
it's
wrong
It's not.
things all the time.
It's not. It's just pho. Just
Yeah. Pho.
fucking delicious.
It is really good. It is. Before that, though, things are going well. I finished playing off Prey. Played Pokemon Snap, the first one, and now I'm on to the new Pokemon Snap, and was gonna stream it today, and then I fell asleep. Them good old sleeps. But yeah, everything's going good. I got some Pokemon Snap to play for tomorrow. I'll probably end up playing some of it tonight, but like not on stream. And then I gotta find a new game. Keep the grind.
Yeah, buddy.
But I don't know what I'm gonna go into next, so that'll be the challenge.
That's always the hard one, right? Is like, what do we play next? Like, what's the next?
What is the next thing?
Yeah.
But I guess technically I also finished. I had the big long video project that I don't know if I've talked about on this podcast before, but I worked on a big long video project that I was doing for a bud of mine, and I finally finished it. And then I sent it to him, and he hasn't talked to me since. So
I basically had the same thing happen to me because I was also, I don't think I talked about it here at all, but I had like a very similar graphic assignment that was given to me, and I finished it. It took me a couple weeks to get done, and that was part of the reason why I was getting burnt out, because I had just an extra thing on my plate that I wasn't ready for. And then like, yeah, I finished it, submitted it, and I heard back, got like email back being like, thank you so much, this is amazing, blah blah blah. And then I haven't heard anything since. I sent in my invoice to be like, hey, this is where this is what you need to pay me.
Give me
proof
the money.
of payment. I want my money. I want my money that you promised me, please.
I feel that. I do mine volunteer based, but they pay for my Adobe suite, so I'm pretty okay with that.
That's almost better, honestly.
That's a good amount of money that I don't have to put into Adobe's pockets every
month.
and
It's like,
for the whole year.
Yeah. It's like $50 you save practically.
No, it's like $30 for the whole suite. It's like $30 a month.
Oh yeah. I don't remember. They change their prices so frequently that
They
I
do.
can't
They
even
do change
tell.
a lot. Students, I think, get $15 a month.
Yeah,
the
I think I'm still under a
photography
student
package.
discount, which is interesting, but I'll take it.
What's Ziggy?
It's like $9 for the photography package, so that's what I got.
Nice.
Yeah, when I look at like the videography package, which includes Photoshop and Premiere, it's like $23, and it's like, well, I'll fucking give you $7 more a month to get everything. Why would I give you $7 more a month? Like, whatever.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I do kind of need like Photoshop and Illustrator and Audition.
Yeah, it's like I
But,
can
like, you don't
I can
include
use the
those
third
there.
app somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Like I use Media Encoder, right? So Media Encoder is not included in that. So it's like, well, I'll use Media Encoder.
Yeah. The 5 apps I use, I have on my taskbar because I use them so frequently: Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere, Audition, and Media Encoder. I guess that's 6. That is 6. I miscounted.
I don't use Audition as much as I probably should. But that's just how it is sometimes.
Same for Illustrator. I use Photoshop and After Effects and Premiere more frequently.
Oh, yeah,
but I
technically use
Photoshop
After Effects too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky, are you cross stitching right now?
I was, yeah. Well, not cross. Doing some.
I don't know what it's called.
Embroidery, right?
Embroidery.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I like that. That's pretty
cute.
Yeah. All right. Let's transition into the topic. I think we've talked enough about what editing suites we use from Adobe. # not sponsored by Adobe.
But I'm glad we take money that you're taking from me. We'll just cycle it,
We'll give it out.
Call me.
All right, so let's talk about burnout. So what happens when we have burnout? And I have a first question that kind of goes into that is, well, what is actually burnout? What does that mean to us? So I can start to give an example of what I'm talking about. So like burnout for me is the process of actually stopping making content, period, any content. Whether that be personal content or content for the general one-up station, and with meaning of stop, right? Like not like, oh, I didn't make content today, so I had burnout today. No, like I stopped making content, therefore I'm burnt out, therefore I'm not doing it anymore. It's a little bit different than like taking a break, but burnout is significantly longer in my opinion.
Yeah.
What about you or Ryan? Sneaky or Ryan? How do you define burnout for yourselves?
I don't know, Sneaky, do you have a...
For me, it's more of like a state of mind that I'm in, as opposed to like, for me, I guess it's more mental. Like, I mean, obviously it's all very connected, right? The mental and physical aspects of stress and stuff. So, but I guess for me, it's just, not being fully, present in what I'm doing and just kind of forgetting what it is that made what I'm doing like energizing and enjoyable. And like, there's times when you hit stream and like about halfway through the stream, you're like, I really shouldn't have streamed today. You know what I mean? Like, just like, man, I'm just not here. I'm not, I'm like really caught up in all these other things that I'm worrying about. And it's like, I just have to, what I need to do is just be like, sorry guys, throwing in the towel today. It's not happening. I'll come back later when I'm feeling more energized and stuff like that. And so, getting all those worries or whatever is holding, whatever's living in my brain, I got to get that out first and stuff. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to burnout.
I would probably say it's very similar to that, but if I had to like put an imagery to it, it's like there's a wire that's not connecting properly. Like there's sparks going on the wire, but they're not receiving the signal, or they're just like not attaching correctly, and I have to try and replace that wire in my brain to get back to doing the thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I when I suffer from burnout or have moments of like I think it's more of a disconnect than it is like a necessarily even calling it burnout. Because I have the drive and I like the desire to do the thing, but just something tells me that I am not allowed to do the thing, and when I try to do the thing, it just will not happen. So, like, there'll be times like they have the expression that's like, "Oh, if you want to start writing, all you have to do is just put down the first letter," or that's all. Like the first like step is like put down a word or whatever.
Mhm.
I'll like usually with art, it's like do the first paint stroke or something like that, and I'll do that. I'll start the thing, and it just doesn't work. Like my brain's just not there and present for it. So that for me, I think is probably like where what I would like kind of define my burnout as, I guess.
Okay. No, it makes sense, right? I get that. I get that imagery of like the wire is just like barely touching, so like sometimes like a little spark will go across and it'll be like, oh yeah, cool, and then finish. But then like most of the time it's just like, nope. And then I actually really like that imagery because like then technically like, well, to fix the wire I have to turn everything off.
Yes.
So like replace the wire and put a new one there, or like put a tamp on it. So like that imagery really does work well with the idea.
Yeah. And it's not like just turning off like the aspect of doing anything creative for me. It's turning off like everything. Like when I initially go through burnout, I like disconnect from relationships that I'm a part of. Like I can't really talk to people for too long, or just like if I do, it's like it's really not me. I'm just kind of like there physically, but mentally I'm not prepared for it. My eating habits get really, really bad. Sleep patterns get all messed up, even though they're already messed up to begin with, but they get even worse.
If I could only fix
and just like my general enjoyment of anything, like just completely vanishes. Like,
yeah, no, I get
and
that.
I'm constantly looking for a stimulus to enjoy myself. That couldn't be something different, but I'm gonna just for right now, I'm gonna say burnout for the topic.
Yeah. No, I also, yeah, some of this stuff is probably gonna filter.
It's very comorbid with a lot of other things.
Yeah. There's definitely other things that it could also like bridge to and connect to, but it's also a part of it, right?
Yeah,
if it's not a part of it, that's kind of a part of the life.
It's like a trigger almost.
So typically, how long does burnout affect you? Like you being you and Sneaky, y'all.
Indefinite. It can be as short as a week. It could be as long as 2 years.
Yeah. Fun fact for anyone who's watching this: me, Ryan, and Sneaky all took a break around the same spot for 2 years.
Yeah. And like we didn't know Sneaky at the time, and LQ and I weren't as close at the time, so it just kind of
it just was like
really
really
happened.
Weird. There is like the concept of like once you kind of get on a big burnout, like one that like lasts like 2 weeks, your brain goes, well, you didn't do the last 2 weeks, and your life is the same, so keep going. Just stop. Just doesn't matter. And that's where that like 2-year burnout goes into effect, and you're like, oh, I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and you're constantly like, I miss it, or I miss doing the thing.
It's like, oh, I have time to do it now. And it's like, but I could do anything else.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly
I think that's why I haven't like officially stopped, because I still kind of feel like I am burnt out. Like I'm realized that streaming really actually means a lot more to me than I give it credit for. Because you kind of go into it with like, you're like, yeah, I just like remember having a different relationship with streaming, and I'm still on my path to getting back to that point, you know what I mean? And so in some ways, like I'm in a much better place than I was even 6 months ago. So like I'm not nearly as burnt out, but I think I'm still like recovering from that because it definitely is just like it's just this well, I honestly kind of started to forget what I was talking about now. But sorry,
No,
because
you're
there
No,
were
you
just
fine.
were talking about like getting on track and like still feeling like burnt out. Like,
Yeah, and I guess that's just kind of, I guess the guilt, right? Because, like you said, like 2 weeks, a day turns into 2 days, turns into a week, turns into 2 weeks, turns into a month. And you're just like, man, like this really sucks. Like, like you start to feel bad. Like, I know that's what I did is I felt really bad. And then it just made it hard to come back because it was just like, hi guys, sorry I haven't been here for 6 months,
it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
you're all mad at me now because I haven't been alive for like weeks.
Sorry, I fell off the face of the earth.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and, like, what's crazy is, like, I was really, open with my community on it, and I was just like, "Look, guys, like, I'm going through really shitty stuff right now. I got a lot of personal stuff going on, and it's just really difficult." And honestly, a lot of it is still, like, surrounding this very, like, slow phase of my life where things just aren't happening very fast.
Mhm.
And, you know, mind-blowingly, everybody was, like, super supportive, you know what I mean? And, like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's amazing, like, just how, understanding people can be.
I think viewers in general get it. Like
Yeah.
most viewers in general, the ones who don't understand it are the ones who are younger. But like most
Mhm.
viewers over the age of 18 are like, yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand 110% that this is a lot of work, and or this is a lot on you, or like something is going on in your life and it sucks.
Yep.
Gone are the days of like the perfect child, right? Like every child now has some form of trauma and like
Oh, yeah.
expresses it and talks about it, right? I feel like a lot of children back in when I was younger and probably my sister's age, who was a little older than I am, just kind of like suppressed the bad stuff and was like, yeah, it was bad, but it's not as bad as that kid, so I'm fine. Where it's like, no,
Right?
you have your own issues too. You should probably talk about them.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
Which now I think is a big thing, and I think a lot of people start seeing that. But yeah. And then I guess the other thing I have in this section of like what happens when we have burnout is what are we typically doing still content related when we're burned out? And this is probably for the shorter burnout periods, right? Not the longer ones, because obviously the longer ones we've just given up or taken a vacation, right? Whatever you want to call it, but it's been like a long thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like typically if I have a burnout, I'll typically go and look for like new backgrounds or new layouts. I'll try and think of new emotes, and it's like I'm still trying to like figure out like wow, maybe if I do this one thing, it'll like respark me and let me go back.
Mhm.
Typically, it's not the case, but so typically I'll do like layouts, or I'll work on like sound alerts, like for the like raids and like the not the raids, but like the raids, right? Like raid alerts and like bid cheers and stuff like that, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Yeah, your alert box stuff on Twitch. Yeah, I'd say like I pretty much do very similar things. Like I'll be like, especially if it's stuff for stream, right, or for content creation, I'll be like, what's the new version of this that'll spark me to do it? And sometimes it'll work. Like I'll make the thing like the day of though, or like 2 days before, and like here it is.
Mhm.
And I've spent like months or however long a period of time like thinking about it and being like, I should really make this thing. And that's normally what stopped me is like I'll become upset with something about my stream and like the look of my stream about something, and I'll
Mhm.
be like, I want to fix it. And then I go to fix it, but then it doesn't I don't finish in time, or I don't ever start it, and then I just kind of stop. Or I just feel like something is happening in the community or something that's happening in that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But like normally I think about a lot more stuff than I actually do make anything or make any actual progress towards anything. Like I've been burnt out on Pokemon for a long time now. As much as I love it, it's since like I made content for it originally, and like I stopped doing the Pokeology content I made years ago. I've been burnt out on Pokemon. I've been trying to find a respark back into it, and there are times that I love it again, but then most of the time it's just like I can't do it for any longer than like a couple of weeks, and then I'm like tired of it already. And I try to look back and see like what the initial sparks were, like what was the original inspiration, what really drove me to do this. Like, let me look at some of these original videos, see what's in here that I really really enjoyed. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But a lot of the times, like if I'm not doing anything, I'll just kind of watch anime or movies or like TV, like things that kind of like spark levels of creativity in me. Cause like I'll see a really cool thing in a movie, right? Like I think the last one that did something really good for me was Spider-Man Far From Home. Like the whole CG sequence with what's his name? The bad guy in there, Jake Gyllenhaal's character. I forget what his name was.
Mystique or Mysterio?
Mysterio, something like that.
Mysterio.
Like,
I don't know.
There's like a whole CG sequence with his character.
Yeah, with the
when Spider-Man's like seeing illusions and really cool like holograms and stuff, and it's really trippy. And just seeing some of these transitions work out, I was like, oh man, I gotta be able to do something like that. And then I'll like get inspired and do stuff with it again. Like Doctor Strange did the same thing, seeing like all the really cool just effects for Doctor Strange did something like that. So usually that's what I look for. I hunt for inspiration.
I tend to go down YouTube rabbit holes of how to do things, basically. How to, like how to make my camera look really nice, or how to make my audio sound good, or how to do this or that. Like how to make my stream, like kind of like with the whole like overlays and stuff, right? Like just trying to get it to where I feel happy and proud of what I see, right? And what I'm seeing on the camera and on the screen in OBS or whatever, and be like, this is what people are going to see, and that makes me happy. And that's when I'm like, okay, it's like you want to invite your friends over, right? But your house is a mess. You have no snacks. You don't have anything to drink. You know what I mean? But you desperately want your friends to come over. But you cannot bring yourself to clean up this mess and to make drinks and to get snacks ready, And that's kind of where I get at. And so a lot of my energy goes into trying to rebuild the space. And lately I've been kind of like, I've been kind of in between, like, trying to do emotes or like sub badges. There's a bunch of like just unchecked boxes in my Twitch channel, like I don't have sub badges. I don't have, all these little things that, people like and that make your channel feel complete, like unique alerts and stuff like that. It's like, that would just be so nice to have, and
yeah, that's such a big time sink, right?
It's like, true.
I think I spent like 2 days making sub badges or redoing sub badges because we ended up using a font that was like like the font was controllers, then I converted that into like actual images, and then I had to clean it up for like a day and a half. It was awful. So bad.
It's tough, especially when it doesn't work out the way you like hope it would. Because I know from my channel, even I had an idea for sub badges. I was gonna do like little stages of like Fanpy. There was gonna be an egg. He was gonna be poking out of the egg, and then he was gonna burst from the egg and be like the like little thing, and then he was gonna start to go and evolve. But because of how small they are, you don't see those details. And so, and that makes that complicated because now I'm like, well, what do I do that makes me stand out? that's fun for me, that makes sense with the channel, and I don't know what that is, because I don't really know what the identity of my channel is, and that's been something I personally have been struggling with for a while too.
True. Same. I feel that. I feel the same way. I know that like I'm comfortable with like a lot of the niche that my aesthetic falls into, I guess you could say, right? Like visually I'm fine with, I'm okay with what I have, but like content wise, right? Because that's what this comes down to is content. And that's honestly where I feel like so confused because there's so much that I want to do and there are so many directions that I want to go. And it's scary because, all the advice says not to do that. Like, don't do weird things. Don't like if you find a game is working, you have to keep playing that game kind of deal. If you find that this is, not working, then you need, and so it's like very like, formulated, I guess, which is comforting, but also kind of scary when it's like, okay, I want to do like, how can I do like Minecraft, a co-working stream, and an aesthetic, sort of, ambient ASMR deal like at the same time? I can't. How can I fit that into one stream? Can I? Like, it's like all these, you know, you want to have
Yeah.
your cake and eat it too, I guess, in a way, right? Content wise, you're just like, I just want to do whatever I want. Just want people to come here and be like, yo, what's up? And but
Hang out.
so does everybody else though, right? So
Right,
that's
right.
how do you stand out in that? And sometimes that's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel all of that, right? Trying to stand out amongst the faces of all of the other people is rough. And I mean, everyone has like tricks, right? There was one guy who said like, I make all of my stream titles puns because everyone either loves or hates puns, and it's like, yeah, but I'm not gonna click on your thing if I see a pun. And then someone's like, oh, on my screen at all times there's like a wacky thing, like something just crazy and stupid, so that people can click into it. And it's like, cool, but you want just people to be there because wacky, like, it's like weird. It's like hard and weird to pick like a reason for someone to click on your thing on Twitch. On YouTube, it's way different because on YouTube it's like someone will click on your thing because the last thing they watch is similar to the thing you're currently doing.
Yeah.
It's very true, yeah.
And the thumbnail, like the thumbnail is the thumbnail is like the number one thing on YouTube, right? To like make sure that you get your video seen. Otherwise, if you don't have a good thumbnail, nobody clicks your video.
There are legitimate, like when you look at like the big YouTubers on the platform, they like look at their thumbnails. It's like some of the big YouTubers have like legit meetings about thumbnails where it's like, yeah, we have to sit down every day for like 2 hours and talk about the thumbnail for the videos of the week. It's like, oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a production job at the end of the day. That's what all this is. It's production. And so sitting down to like figure out the thumbnail is another aspect of the graphic design aspect of that. Being the graphic designer for reality television, I can tell you that you would sit down and do draft after draft and be like, yo, this is what we need this to look like. Or this is the look of it. Like, I spent weeks, like actual weeks, making the aesthetic for the most recent show I worked on. And it put me behind like a lot of work because like the producer was just like, no, we gotta like, maybe we gotta fix this up, maybe we gotta do a little this, especially when you're like starting it out. Because when you're starting it out, you have no idea what it is. You have no idea what the identity is. Nobody knows. You're just creating something. And it's never going to be just right. So, yeah, I can see why they have like meetings every day to make a thumbnail for a video that's going out.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. All right, let's move on to the next little bit. So I want to talk a little bit about the different times we've had burnout. I obviously don't get personal if it's like a personal reason you got burnout. If you don't want to be personal, right? But the first thing like I had about that was like what caused your burnout, I guess technically we're just going to be telling stories. So it's what caused your burnout? How long did it last? What did you do to get it back into it? And then how did that change? How did you change to try and prevent that type of burnout for the future? I know it's a lot, but it's just basically like the what, the where. You know the words. Words are rough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last one I had, which was work related. I don't remember when it was. It was a while ago, like a couple of months ago. But there was I had to cancel my streams for the week. And there was also some part of that was I was just tired of streaming. But I also had work to get done. This was in the middle of me having the long video project. I was behind on work because I don't want to talk about it, but work is a piece of crap. Basically, that's where I'm going to leave it. But it lasted a week and a half. I didn't stream. I canceled my stream on a Monday. And I was I'll come back on Thursday. It'll be fine. And then I didn't come back on Thursday. And I was I'll come back on Monday. And I didn't come back on Monday. And I came back on Wednesday. But I was I was down about it. I was I don't want to be here, but I get it. I need to be here. I need to keep doing it. Because I know if I stopped, it would be a problem if I stopped. Because it's just the whole idea of I can't stop anymore. Because last time I stopped, I stopped, and it was for a really long time. And I don't want to do that again. As much of a nice thing it was, and I'd get more time of my life back if I did. I'd still be wanting to do it. It's
it's that thought that lingers in the back of your head. You're man, I want to stream again. And then when you're online, and you're hanging out maybe in other people's streams, people are yo, when are you going to stream again?
Yeah. And you're
and it's I don't know. When are you going to show up again?
Yeah. I don't know. Are you going to ever show up to my streams?
But no, that's... Yeah, no, but that's the real thing though. It's there's this constant awareness again. It's if you ever quit streaming, you have to leave the platform.
Yeah.
Or pick up a new username and just go by that username.
Gotta hide.
It has to die.
It has to die.
It's very weird. Your life won't be the same. Isn't the same after you've started streaming and have some sort of notoriety on the platform.
Yeah, but so basically what I did to get back into it, I picked a new game. I think that's when I started playing Prey. Picked a new game. I was I'm going to play this game to completion. And I don't care. I'm just tired of overthinking it. I'm tired of, waiting on work. I also caught up a bit on work, which also helped. And then how I changed to prevent that in the future. On top of actually doing work now, I just changed the format of how I'm streaming stuff for now, at least, where I'm gonna pick a game and play it to some form of completion, and then move on to the next one. So I guess technically Snap is my next game to do that to, but
yeah,
I don't know how long I'll play Snap for, on stream at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to pick an instance of burnout because I feel I'm just in a perpetual state of burnout. And I guess I can talk about the first time I've really noticed that it was burnout, and that or I was able to call it that because I figured out what the word was. There was a word for it, and then I was able to tie it to it. And I think that has to come from when I was doing my YouTube channel. When I first started doing YouTube, I was given some pretty poor advice, I think, early on. Because I had made my first Pokeology video, and I was yeah, I want to release it, but I kind of want to hold on to it because I don't really know if it's going to work out, and blah, blah. And the person said, release it. See what the engagement is, and if you want to do another one, do another one. Which is good advice. But if I was having fun making the things, I should have made a bunch of them, backlogged them, and then released them. And if I could go back in time and say, hey, do this instead, I think I probably would still be making that content to this day.
Yeah, it's one of those ideas of like not having enough knowledge about how YouTube works and then taking advice from somebody who you think knows how YouTube works. Which is one of the reasons I'm really hesitant anytime I watch a video on YouTube about YouTube is better or like how it would work YouTube system, and it's like,
right,
yeah, maybe 4 years ago when you made the video, or maybe,
but not anymore.
But maybe
exactly,
maybe last week before they changed the album for the 19th time this week, So
yeah, because I found myself steadily like falling back and falling behind. Because my initial thing was I wanted to release a video every week, and that kind of video I was doing is really difficult to do like by yourself every week. But I was like, hey, if Game Theory can do it, I could do it too. And like I got really good reception on the first couple, but I kept having to be like, hey, no video this week. Hey, no video this week. And I kept constantly like falling farther and farther behind until I just stopped. And I stopped on 24. And I'm like, and now I'm at this wall where it's like the 25th episode is like a really big one for me because I wanted to do Pikachu. Pikachu's number 25 in the Pokedex. It's the mascot of the games, and it's like, let's do it for real. Like, let's do like a really good one. And then I had this concept of or this idea that I wanted to do, but I don't have the money or the connections to actually make it happen. And now I'm like, this idea is either dead in the water or I'll do something else instead. And I almost every week, I'm like, man, I want to do this again. But every time I go to like write the script or make art for it or anything, I'm just like, no. And it's been about, let's see, I think last video I made was in 2017 for it, maybe later, 2016. It's been a few years. And it sucks. So it's not like, and there are people in my community who are like veterans, like from when I started, and they're like, when is this coming back? And I'm like, I'm working on it constantly. Like I'm thinking about it actively. And I know it's in like demand, like there's some demand for it, and I'm just like, I want to do the thing, but I can't heckin' do the thing. Just let me do the thing.
True.
And then like going further into it, I guess, like because we got the different things. There's, so what caused the burnout was some bad. I'm gonna say it's probably some bad advice and me not being able to keep up with the expectation that I put upon myself. It's still affecting me. What am I trying to do to get it back? Honestly, there's a bunch of stuff I'm trying to do. I think I'm just trying to find the inspiration for it again. And I think with the combination of the wonderful gift that I got from LQ and Jess, for my birthday, the Poke Anatomy book, along with Pokemon Snap coming out, I think it might actually be just what I'm looking for to kind of get an idea of what it is I want to do with it.
It's a really good combination.
Yeah,
Those
like
two
them
things.
having back to back like that.
Yeah.
Because that's like just what it was. Like my content was like seeing Pokemon in their natural environment, and then seeing like a biological breakdown and an anatomical breakdown of like these Pokemon. Like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I think having those tools, being there, and yeah, Tink says the 25th year of Pokemon. It's the 25th anniversary of Pokemon this year. So like. Now, if I do Pikachu for 25, it's going to be really big because it's 25, 25, 25, 25. Like, just all 25.
When did Pokemon release?
1996.
No, what day?
What day? Oh, it's past.
Why is it?
It's in February.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's in February.
Yeah, it was in February.
Rough.
It's like February 20 something, I think. It's like Pokemon Day.
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember that.
I don't know.
Yeah. And how we change to prevent it in the future. I don't know yet.
All
To be
right.
determined.
It's still
To be
technically
determined. Yeah,
Work in
it's
progress.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
all
mean,
work in progress.
technically my YouTube content's all burnt out. It's not coming back unless I really start doing some stuff for it. And there are thoughts going for it right now because I'm thinking about it, but we'll get to that later.
I know once I get to do it again and start doing it again, the floodgates are gonna open and I'm just gonna go. But then my stream is gonna suffer.
Yeah, well,
Because I'm gonna move all of my time into making this other content.
Yeah. It's rough. It's so hard.
The balance is tough.
Sneaky, did you have a time you would like to share?
Yeah. So let's see. For me, the cause of my burnout has been a mixture of things. First, it was some IRL stuff that was going on. And then secondly, I think it was losing sight of what I enjoyed about streaming and becoming insecure about the content that I was producing. Basically, I got in my own head about why, I mean, especially surrounding this larger real life issue that was, going on and taking up a lot of mental faculties, and that obviously started to affect my stream. And I think that in some ways kind of the stress of it just it became easier to stress out about my stream and to kind of be overwhelmed by that and to try and figure out what was wrong with that instead of worrying about what was wrong with me, basically. And I think that it's been like a really great distraction. um, it's I mean, it's been, I'd say I'm coming out of burnout in a very slow way. Um, I'd say that, it's affected me a couple times and which was, has it's been okay. I had a few months last year where I was pretty regular. But uh in order to get back into it though, like I kind of just made myself start streaming again. I just kind of had to start up again. And so I would just pick something, and I would just be like, what do I want to do? And I would, just pick a new game that's intriguing me lately or whatever, just turn on a just chatting stream and just do whatever I needed to do. And that would kind of help, you know what I mean? Because you kind of get back into the rhythm of it and stuff like that. But it did stuff. I definitely was still like kind of in my own head about like what kind of content I'm putting out and what do I want to do on stream, basically. Um, and I think that basically the conclusions I've come to, which is funny because Ryan kind of touched on it a little bit, but being realistic or lowering my expectations has been a big thing that I've been kind of focusing on lately. Just kind of like, look, you can't worry about your, how well you're perceiving yourself to do if you're not doing anything, right?
Mhm.
So, don't worry so much about whether or not you have the amount of viewers that you want or whether or not you're seeing substantial growth every following stream. What I need to be focusing on is just doing the things that will make me a better content creator, doing things that would make me comfortable and confident and happy and things that people want to see, and just focus on that and let the rest come. Of course, this is like, it seems kind of like the obvious answer to me, but because it's the answer that I get when I watch all these YouTube videos about how to do better at streaming and content creation and YouTube and stuff. They're like, just make YouTube videos, man. Like, you're not going to make a banger right out the gate. And it's just like,
Yeah.
God, it's like, damn it. I know that. But, we're still humans, right? And like, I can microwave my dinner, right? But I can't like microwave my streaming career. Like, what the hell? What's this bullshit?
Yeah. It's that
So
instant gratification that we get. We're so used to now.
yeah,
It's like, oh,
and
there's a new thing. There's a new thing. Here's the great
it's
thing.
true.
I
It's
forget.
true.
I forget what comedian it is, but it's like we have no patience anymore. Drop a phone call. Oh well, he's just gone. We used to lose a phone call back in the day. That person was dead.
Dead. Yeah, I've seen this one.
Oh my
I think I'm
god.
trying a joke, but that's the joke I'm
That's
thinking of as soon
funny.
as you said that.
Yeah.
It's right. It's true.
No, but it's so true.
It's true.
Yeah, it's rough making YouTube, and it's rough like because it takes so much more energy and time than it really like
Mhm.
leads you to believe. Right? It's like, oh well, you watched a 20-minute video, or you made a 20-minute video. How long did it make you to edit? Like 2.5, 3 hours.
Like
Right?
18 hours.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and it kind of depends on the video too, right? Like if I'm just re-uploading a VOD, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if I'm
But when you're making a full scripted thing
full scripted things take
that has like
like
here graphics here, there's this thing here.
I
like,
don't envy the game theory people because every single one of their scenes is custom made and is constantly moving, and it's great. It looks amazing. It is legitimately an ocean, or it's a mountain,
Yeah.
or it's like whatever algorithm or not algorithm term you want to use.
Yeah.
They have a huge team doing that. But I do not envy them because they turn it out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's every 2 weeks they upload a video now, or every week and a half they upload a video now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of respect.
It's also
to
3
the
channels
team
that they're uploading to.
Yeah, that's
like,
the other
it's
thing.
Not like one, right? It's 3 channels that they're uploading every other week or whatever.
They had just come out with a behind the scenes video kind of going through their work, and I went through it, and it's such a small team too. I think it's like maybe less than 10 people.
Right, but it's like one of those things where it's like, man, it's such a small team for a production crew, but it's also a YouTube channel, and that seems like a big team. It's like that weird like brain concept because like obviously like me and you have been around the production industry, and we know like that's a small team.
To the layman, like they think it's a lot of people. Like
right.
It's like, then why aren't they coming out with videos every day? It's like no. You have probably about maybe like 10 more people working on that for an actual television show that comes out once every 6 months. Like you get maybe 13 episodes out of the show every 6 months, let alone making new YouTube videos every week or every other week for an entire year.
For an entire
to get
lifetime.
No break. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It is rough. I forget where this was going. You had talked about. Nope, it's gone. Let's move on.
No.
You had said you were talking about like production and stuff.
No,
that's really kind of.
Nope. Any thoughts I have left my brain.
Okay.
They are currently living with the rodents in the dumpster because they are trash now. Okay, and then the last thing I had, last little subsection of burnout was what do you do to kind of prevent burnout? Do you have like warning signs? If you're starting to feel burnout, how does that affect your stream? If it does, or your content, and then
heavy questions.
And then methods to burnout, but that's like another step one. So like, do you have any warning signs for burnout? Because like typically I do, right? My warning sign for burnout is just like, and you've seen in my streams when it happens. I'll get really, really quiet for the majority of the stream, even if people are chucking with me. Right? There's a difference between when no one's there and I'm like kind of trying to fill my own air, and I get quiet, or like I get focused on a game. But like if people are talking to me and I'm answering like shortly, that's a warning sign to me that I'm like just tired of streaming. And like I'm starting to feel that burnout, so I need to go and do something to like fix that. I got a twofer in there. So that's basically that. And then do I have a methodology of burnout? I can't really. You know, when I notice it, if I notice it, um, I'll try and like once again like go back and change something or look at new ways to use OBS. That's actually probably one of my favorite things to do, regardless of burnout or not, is just looking at new ways that you can like use OBS in a way that like breaks OBS, but it's like a part of it, like its features.
Yeah.
Like nesting scenes and like weird things to do with audio and the whole like if I can like link like these three things together and I hit one button and it does a whole thing, like that shit's cool to me. And that kind of helps with like burnout because it's like, oh, well, I want to go show everybody this thing.
Mhm.
Right? I want to show this off now.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta look at the things again because like I'm
Right.
like
I gotta
trying
remember.
to think, what do we do to prevent burnout? What are our warning signs? I think my warning signs are very much the hey, I think I'm gonna take a break today. And
Mhm.
sometimes it'll be I'm really bad about this because sometimes I can't just be straight up with my community and say that I need it for me. I'll say something happened. 9 times out of 10, something did actually happen, or like like it's a 50-50 chance of whether or not something actually happened. Like whether it be weather related or like lightning storm or like power went out or whatever. Um, but I'll use that as an excuse to be like, I'm not streaming today.
Mhm.
And then I'll be like, yeah, I'm not streaming again today. I just kind of don't feel like it. And then it's like, then I just kind of go silent. Like I kind of like I just stop. I start stopping and cutting back my days more. I'll go from like being like, oh yeah, I'm like streaming 3 days a week. It's like, well, I'm only doing it 2 now. I did 1 this week. That's good enough. And then,
You have the slow descent into madness of burnout.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it affects my streams a lot because normally what'll happen is I'll see because what'll kind of recently what's been triggering a lot of my burnout is like I'll see like numbers diminish like for certain things that were doing really well and they're just like not retaining. And I'm assuming that's probably because of that, and that's definitely more on me than it is on the actual like stream itself and the community itself. And those will trigger the things that descend me into that. So I start to see it more, and then that's how it kind of affects it, where I stop streaming more. Because I'll also kind of start to talk less, or I'll start to cut streams short.
Mhm.
My method. Sometimes I just need to give myself a break before I actually am like burnt to a crisp. Like I just need to be like, you know what? I think I need a week off, and then give myself like a week or 2 off, and then I come back into it with something new. Usually it's something new, like a new game
Mhm.
or whatever. Do I go back to the old game? Sometimes.
Oh, I totally go back to an old game. I've streamed
Yeah.
Prey before. I streamed Prey like 4 years ago, or like basically right when I started. I was like, yeah, I'll just play it again. No one from back then is here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
My community doesn't exist. It's fake.
I mean, that's how I did it when I came back initially, right? When I came back in January, I started playing Sly Cooper, and that's what I did. That was like one of my first streams, I think, on my own, and that was one of the streams I did like a couple years ago when I came back again from another burnout break. So that's usually a good one for me to kind of just come back to. It's been pretty fun to just kind of come back to that game every once in a while. Realistically, I think it's my body telling me, "Hey, you should start speedrunning Sly Cooper, the first one, and just start doing that exclusively."
God, the amount of times I think about speedrunning as content. I'm like, I could, but like, no. It's too much work.
It is. It's a lot. Respect to all the speedrunners out there, because like,
Yeah.
Yeah, respect to all the speedrunners.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Warning signs for me are usually like just a general like uncertainty about what I'm gonna do. If I have no idea what's happening, it's generally a sign that I'm starting to that I need to take a step back and think about what's going on, generally it's just because I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what to do, and I don't wanna, like, ask people what they want me to do for some reason. Probably because I think I'd feel bad if they suggested something and then I was like, "Cool," and then didn't do that because I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh, great idea." Not, "I don't wanna do that," like, I just that's and I don't like saying no, like, I wanna give people, if they wanna see something, I know I have to learn. That's another Sunday, okay?
That's another
But
Sunday.
but that's why I don't ask, you know what I mean? 'Cause I find it hard to
Mm.
I would find it hard to do so, basically.
Yeah.
Um, Affecting my stream? Mm, yeah, I think really, like, I just fall out. I forget all of the lessons that I have learned. Things like talking to yourself, remembering how to talk to myself, turning off my viewer count. I did that recently, because 'cause I've had my viewer count on, and I realized how it did not affect how many people were in my stream, but it did affect how stressed out I was during my stream. And I got to pretend that I had everybody here, and it was great. And then afterwards, I got to go and check my, analytics, and I got to, pinpoint spots when people would come in and when people would leave, and
Mhm.
kinda check the VOD and see if there was anything that could have led to that, and sometimes it was as simple as, "Oh, I started playing a game and some people left," and it's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine, no biggie." Like, can't fault them for that, but, I think that, so I guess, like, for the method, I guess at least lately, I've been finding, remembering what I did first and trying to go back to that. Go back to the
Mhm.
thing that I did first that I felt worked. Um, Being more mindful about because I feel like the thing that makes me burnt out is not feeling like my content is good and that my stream is performing in a way that I expect. So, along with lowering my expectations and being nicer to myself and just kind of not worrying about it so much, along with those, I've started to lose my train of thought. Damn it! I went on for too long. but, but just being more mindful, remembering what I did to make it fun and just
Mhm.
kind of, like, approaching it with that spirit again, you know what I mean? Not overthinking it and not thinking too much about it like a formula, like a thing that you have to make work. Just be like, "Listen, look, like, let's just get back to, like, enjoying it first," like, you know what I mean? That sounds really bad, like I don't enjoy it. It's not that. I don't
No,
not
but, like, that's
enjoy it.
actually the thing,
That's the
though, like,
thing,
too,
though.
is,
It's like
like, it
you
feels
and
like you don't enjoy it when you're starting to burn out, because it's
Yeah.
like at least for me,
right,
It can be
but
the
it's
but
like
it
you
can be
know
your
you do
favorite
you
enjoy
game.
it.
still love it though,
Yeah, it
you
can
know
be
what I
your favorite
mean?
Yeah.
It's
game. It
like
could be your favorite
I
people.
yeah. It just
Doesn't.
and acknowledging that, just, like, there's so many, like, interlocking sort of, like, conflicts in my own mind, at least for
Mhm,
me at
mhm.
least, when it comes to, just uh the growth aspect, like, the whole, like, "Well, I wanna grow." Who streams and doesn't wanna grow? Everybody, I think, secretly, at least, wants
Yeah.
okay, no, there are people out there who don't wanna grow, and that's totally fine. But, like, I think deep down, everybody wants to grow, but I think maybe sometimes, I at least get a little caught up in that, and then I turn that eye to my channel, and then I basically just beat up my channel, and
Mm.
it's like and then it's just, feel good about it, and so it's like now what I'm doing is just kinda trying to listen to, and, get my headspace, get the headspace back into a good space and just, like, focus, actually make a schedule and stick to it and give yourself the time to stick to it and to build new habits. Don't expect things to change in the first week. Make sure you're giving it time or whatever. Okay, I'll stop rambling now.
No, I think you've got a point though there though too, and you've had a couple of like cool like things that could work for this particular context. I know for me, I like the other week I did try to like turn off my viewer account, but it didn't help. It actually did the exact opposite thing.
Oh no.
Because nobody was chatting and there was nobody like really present and engaging with me. I thought nobody was there, and I got really, really sad.
Oh.
So it can work, and then it can have the complete opposite effect work, and that just goes. And I don't bring this up to be like, hey, like your advice wasn't
You're
good.
wrong.
It's just
No,
like
no, no.
different things work for different people.
Yeah.
So one idea
Absolutely.
that somebody can have may work for them, but it might not work for you. And then for people, for the audience, for anybody who's listening, it's trying to find that thing that works best for you, in whatever facet of your life that it is that you're feeling burned out at. So looking out for as much as it is going to look for help and having people come up with answers, they're not going to be the answers necessarily that work for you.
Right.
And that'll take a lot of internal searching,
and trial and error and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
it's good to have a support system, though. I think
good.
having
It's
friends and people to like vent to and be like, hey, I'm feeling burnt out, or hey, there's a lot going on in my life right now. Can you like talk with me for a little bit? Or even just having to be like have the people that are just like distract you from life for a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
always.
Like take you away from it. Yeah. They don't even need to know about it. As long as it for you, it's like takes it out of it for a second. It can help.
That's true. Just a moment of relief.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that should wrap it all up then. Ryan, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
Not the number you're thinking of.
I was about to say, I'm like, remember, this is LQ we're talking about.
Please guess a number between 1 and 10, and Sneaky will do the same. Whoever is furthest will have to do the minute recap.
Five.
Sneaky.
8.
Ooh, the number was 7.
Damn.
Sneaky is closest, which means Ryan has to do the.
Well, I think LQ should do it because he is yet to do a recap.
LQ has gotten out of
We've been doing this for almost
a
2 months now, and we have yet to have an LQ recap. So, if the audience demands an LQ recap, I think that should be.
So the audience is Jess, and Jess doesn't count as audience.
What they want.
No, it's Jess and Tink. Are you gonna really disappoint Tink?
I think Tink wants to see you make a fool of yourself. Oh, hands down.
But I've already done it. I've done it twice, I think, already. Just totally counts.
I think so.
I don't think just counts. I count, damn it.
Okay, I will do it. I'll do it this time.
What?
On one condition, and the condition being that you do it next time.
Yep.
Is payback for Ryan we're not remembering last
time? Either LQ has to do it this time or LQ has to do it next time.
I will do it the next time I am not hosting. How about that? How about dem apples? You like D's apples?
You can still do it while you're a host, so...
Do you like apples? Do you like
Nordis is now also throwing in and saying LQ do the recap.
Oh, LQ recap. LQ recap.
Oh, God.
Next time.
Sure.
There you go.
Sure.
I will do it next time.
Next week.
Let's go! Tune in next week.
Also, next week's topic will be how to teach Sneaky to say no. That's
right.
I wanted to do that joke earlier.
That'll be the whole ass stream.
Ooh, an ass stream. Can we just do an ass stream one week? That'd be kind of fun.
No.
Alright, Ryan, are you ready? You're gonna do a minute first.
Nope, I'm not ready, but I'll do it anyway.
All right, here we go. Here's a minute.
You got this,
go.
Ryan.
You going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We started off the stream. There was a choo-choo in the beginning to transition us forward, and we all said who we were. That was LQ. I'm researcher Ryan, and down below was Sneaky Zombie. We talked about our weeks for a little bit.
40 seconds.
I talked about how I've been experiencing a little bit of burnout. Sneaky's been talking about how they've been doing some good stuff on their stuff, on their channel and stuff. LQ finished Prey, and then we start talking about burnout and what it means
seconds.
to us. Once we started saying what it means to us, I kind of described it as a loose cable that kind of goes berserk and sometimes connects and reconnects on burnout. And then we started talking about different times that we've had burnout. And once we talked about different times we have burnout, we moved on to what do we prevent burnout and all that nonsense.
Good job.
That's pretty good. Good job filling up the minute. That's the hardest part, is filling up the minute. The next part is really quite durable. 30 seconds.
Got this.
Okay.
Dope.
Believe in you.
Okay. LQ, Ryan, Sneaky. We introduce ourselves. It describes our week. Pokemon Snap came out, and I played Pokemon Snap Friday. Sneaky was doing some stuff. I can't remember what they were playing. LQ also played Pokemon Snap this week. And also finished Prey. We then talked about burnout and said what it means, loose cables. Talked about different times we had burnout, like YouTube, and what we do to prevent burnout. And that's where we're at now.
Good job.
All right. What is it, 10 seconds now?
No, it's 2.
No, we go 5. We go 10 to 1, I think. All right, 10 seconds starting. Oh, wait, hold on. No, reset. Or hold on, let's wait a second. Let's just leave it. 10 seconds starting now.
Choo choo, we all have burnout. What does that mean? Loose cables. We also have YouTube hatred because of burnout, and we are learning how to do things still with burnout.
All right.
Well done.
Let's do 5 seconds and then 1 second. Let's turn it up. All right, 5 seconds starting now. 4.
Burnout sucks. We
all right.
Said it really quite fast.
He said it in Simlish, you see.
Simlish. All right, 1 second. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Do it.
Burnout sucks.
Yeah!
There it is. All right, everybody. That is everything. You can check us out on the respective platforms that we do things on. I do stuff on Twitch with the score LQ does. And this person here says words.
Hi, I'm researcher Ryan. You can see up above that my name is spelled out there. You find me there. I'll be playing Pokemon Snap probably tomorrow in the morning. Don't know what time yet, but we'll make it work. And that's what I'll probably be doing most of this week if I don't do anything else. It's playing lots of that this week.
Wait, am I reintroducing myself?
You're saying your tags and then we're leaving.
Oh, okay. Sneaky_zombie. And I got a Twitch.
Got a Twitch you can't fix. In the chat and below in the panels are the link to the One Up Discord, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
You're muted.